Hello everyone, you'll hear this yourself. Finally, the first trailer for Avatar's third installment has released. Yes, we've all watched the original Avatar. Following that, we watched Avatar: The Legend of Korra. Now, for this upcoming installment, we're introduced to a new little girl character. She's not alone, she has a twin. Also, in this trailer itself, they've shown a lot of brand new things. After struggling and fighting for 100 years to protect that world, Korra apparently just smashed it all to pieces in an instant. What's happening here, Korra? Literally, we see this entire world pushed into a post-apocalyptic state. An Avatar series set in a post-apocalyptic world? They've thought about this quite differently. Even the original creators seem to be involved in this. And the release date has been announced as October 9th. The original Avatar: The Last Airbender movie was actually supposed to release on October 9th too, remember that got leaked? And now, that same release date has been given to this series instead. It's said there's an idea to release all 26 episodes on the same day. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But finally, we are getting a new Avatar after 7 years. Let's go through everything shown in this trailer. The opening shot itself presents what this new world looks like. It creates almost a Dune or Mad Max-like vibe. On this side, I think this is Bobby, not sure if it's Bobby or Nisha, riding on her animal companion through what's now a completely desert landscape. Up above, you can see auroras in the sky. Not clear how this beautiful world got destroyed, but somehow, in some way, the entire Avatar world seems to have been completely devastated. I mean, it's said all 4 nations have been destroyed. The opening music, when you listen closely, has been composed in an Indian style. It sounds really nice. This character in that scene, I think she must be the main character, the full Avatar. Obviously, she's an Avatar. So she looks at either Nisha or Bobby and asks, "Why are you the way you are?" So initially, these two were separated, not raised together. But it seems this sequence is building toward them finally meeting now. At this point in time, almost all the nations are now living together in one single place called Alaron. You might be wondering, what happened to Republic City? The trailer's midsection makes that pretty clear. Wait, I'll get to it.
It seems this place called Alaron has now become a stronghold. If you venture outside this place, survival chances are extremely low. I mean, the entire world seems to have been ravaged by storms, floods, and destruction of some kind. Not clear what caused it. But this Alaron place remains a stronghold. Coming here apparently keeps you somewhat safe, though the reason for that isn't clear either. In this scene, both Bobby and Nisha look at each other and are shocked. Both of them are earthbenders. You can actually see in that shot both of them earthbending. The reason is obvious. In the Avatar cycle, after water comes Earth, so naturally the next Avatar should be an earthbender. But this time, this world isn't going to celebrate the Avatar. They're going to hate them. It's implied that the Avatar itself is the reason this world got destroyed. Bobby and Nisha look at each other in shock. More likely, this looks like it could be a training ground. Still, in that shot above, you can see auroras, clearly showing that this world continues to be pushed toward destruction. And if you look at Bobby's leg, you'll notice something's tied there. She's an amputee, it seems. Her leg is missing from somewhere. Perhaps her leg went missing around the time they were separated as children. Also, honestly, I'm not too fond of this series' animation style. I think I'll need to get used to it. I do love the Avatar universe, but this animation somehow doesn't feel quite right to me because beyond just being kids' animation, they've given it choppy frames. I mean, the frames feel jumpy, lacking fluidity. A lot of current animated series follow this same style. I don't know why. It creates a kind of disorientation. It worked really well for the Spider-Verse films. That comic book style with choppy frames suited that perfectly. But when you see every animated show now following that same trend, doesn't it get annoying after a while? I think I'll definitely need to get used to this particular series' animation style. It feels like quite a downgrade compared to before. It can't even be compared to the original Avatar: The Last Airbender that had this beautiful watercolor painting quality, absolutely gorgeous. And Legend of Korra followed that same anime-style beauty too, but this one just looks like children's animation. It feels like they've rebooted this franchise specifically targeting a kids demographic with this animation style. Why would they do that? This isn't just some kids show. This is a series everyone should be able to enjoy. Not sure why they went with this particular animation style. Personally, I think I'll need to get used to this. Let me know how you all feel about it in the comments below.
At this point, we hear a voiceover from another character. It seems we need to prepare Alaron, because to prevent this place from getting destroyed too, we need to correct the mistake our ancestors made. It's implied that Korra herself made a mistake in the past that led to Republic City's destruction, and that's when we see Korra shown, standing in front of the now burning Republic City, smiling. Not clear whether she's the one who destroyed it, but it suggested that Korra has made a lot of mistakes leading up to this point. Importantly, this current Korra doesn't seem to have any connection to her past lives at this point. She's living a life completely disconnected from any previous avatar. It's said that right now, she has no supportive spiritual guides available to her. So technically, if Bobby needs to access her ancestors' collective memory and wisdom as the avatar, she can only draw upon Korra's guidance. No other avatar's knowledge is accessible to her. That connection has been cut off, and that itself seems to be a mistake. Following that thread, I think Korra must have opened a third spirit portal. Technically, in this world there are only supposed to be 2 spirit portals, one at each pole. But it seems Korra opened a third portal right at the center of Republic City. Normally, those 2 existing portals are balanced, like positive and negative, but introducing a third portal at this point would definitely create an imbalance, and that imbalance is probably what ended up destroying this entire world, I think. Korra is probably the one responsible for bringing spirits into the physical world. That's likely also what's causing those auroras. Whenever spirits come through, those auroras appear. So following that logic, this third portal likely created a technical imbalance that caused everything to collapse now, possibly resulting in 2 worlds colliding. If you're wondering whether Marvel's incursion concept is being referenced here, it does feel like the spirit world and the physical world have collided in some way, creating a strange, different kind of apocalypse. This doesn't quite match the established convergence event either, which is only supposed to happen once every 10,000 years. This feels like a different, unique kind of apocalypse. And the entire Republic City is burning while Korra stands there smiling? Even in her avatar state, she's smiling. Not clear why. Maybe the Rava spirit within her has become corrupted somehow. Because Rava and Vatu are both light and dark spirits respectively. It's possible that Vatu, who's presumed dead at this point, somehow returned and corrupted Rava, and through that corruption, caused Korra to bring about this world's destruction. Not entirely clear yet, we'll have to watch and see. It does feel like Korra is somehow linked to all this in some way.
Why would you do this, Rava? Might be thinking. I chose you, hoping you'd do good things for me, and this doesn't feel like it. But everything happens for a reason. Nothing occurs randomly. Looking at it that way, I think Korra is somehow trying to reshape or remodel this world in some deliberate way. Let's continue. In this next shot, the entire city is shown being destroyed by massive earthquakes and tsunamis. Looking at the colors used above, it genuinely feels like the spirit world is colliding with our physical world. Both worlds seem to have completely merged beyond just the portals now. People in this world believe Avatar Korra herself is responsible for this destruction. So, as a result, all the people currently living in this world are going to view the Avatar as a villain going forward. Technically, the Avatar's job is to protect people, but looking at what happened, Korra is essentially seen as the villain now. There might be a whole convention or belief forming that any future avatar is automatically viewed as a villain going forward. We'll have to watch and see where the storyline goes and how it resolves. Here, we see a new character who appears to be helping Bobby. Not sure who he is, but based on the outfit he's wearing, there's a good chance he's from the past. He's shown as a young airbender. Yes, he is an airbender. In this scene, beyond just helping Bobby with airbending, notice this shot. He's carrying someone, literally lying on a hoverboard, using airbending to create that hoverboard effect. So, technology and bending are going to merge in this series. Even in the previous Legend of Korra series, technology had already advanced somewhat. I mean, Republic City already felt like a fully developed modern city. It feels like, similar to how it went from a 1960s aesthetic toward the future in Korra, they're pushing this even further now, possibly creating even more of a cybernetic world. That's why we're seeing hoverboards being used here too. Looks great. Both Bobby and Nisha have been given the same style of feline-like creature as their companion. Looks nice. Notice the black and white coloring. There's also a chance Nisha could turn out to be the main villain later, because, as I mentioned earlier, Rava and Vatu represent light and dark avatars respectively. Following that logic, maybe Bobby becomes the light avatar, while Nisha becomes the dark avatar. If you recall, Unalaq previously absorbed Vatu into his own body and became a corrupted dark avatar. They might use that same concept here. But a dark avatar typically can't control all the elements. They can only control certain elements, but with extreme power and intensity. So maybe Nisha won't be able to control all elements, just earthbending, but at an incredibly powerful, intense level.
Meanwhile, only the light avatar can control all the elements.
In this shot, a new faction is introduced. This faction appears to be fighting against the Airbenders. If you notice this character closely, he's also presented as an airbender, but portrayed as an older character. Given the timeline, they all would have grown together over the years. When I first saw him, I thought he might be Kai from Legend of Korra, the character named Karthik. It also seems like he might be some kind of mentor figure coming to help Bobby's side. We'll have to wait and see how this fits into the overall series. As for Karthik, not sure how he'll be presented on screen. Also not clear why this new faction is fighting them, but they've adopted a distinctly Catholic-inspired aesthetic. Not only are they fighting with knives or blades, but they also seem to be using fire, possibly even trying to resurrect Fire Nation elements. Not sure yet. In this shot, we see a futuristic bike shown. It almost gives off an Akira-style vibe, doesn't it? Are we heading into a futuristic cyberpunk world here? You might not believe this, but actually, in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender series, there was originally an idea floated to eventually introduce a cyberpunk-style world into that universe. The original concept sketches for that have actually been released before. You can see for yourself. That cyberpunk concept idea existed with the original creators from the start. I think that's exactly what they're implementing here now. And in the distance, as this bike travels, you'll notice about 4 air bison standing there. So it seems they're implying that air nomads are still around in some form. In this ravaged world, going out is dangerous, and it looks like they're bringing air bison along for support. Where does this eventually lead? In this particular shot, I think this is probably where Bobby and Nisha get separated. The two people standing here could possibly be their parents. It's also possible that this is actually Bobby's father, and this could be the character named Karthik. There's a good chance of that. And in the distance, you can see what looks like a massive explosion happening. So it seems this is probably where Bobby and Nisha get separated from each other, because below you can see 2 animals standing there separately. So it's likely they got separated right around there.
Humanity currently isn't ready for the Avatar's return, but it's implied that it's exactly what's needed right now. Again, all the world's people currently believe the Avatar is responsible for this world's destruction, and Bobby now has to fix that misconception too. Not only that, she also has to fix this entire post-apocalyptic world itself, so Bobby essentially has double the workload now. Apparently, someone held back destruction for a full 100 years before this, and now look, the entire world split into pieces. Not only does she need to fix this, but she also needs to repair the Avatar's tarnished reputation. So it's a double job for Bobby now. We'll have to watch the series to see how she manages to pull this off. They've said 26 episodes will release on October 9th, and at the very end of the trailer, this shot appears. The moment you see it, you'll all recognize it from the color scheme alone. Something is coming back. But wait, didn't he die? Technically, light and dark energy never truly dies, so you'd assume Vaatu is dead. But actually, the light energy within someone is exactly what can transform into that dark energy too. So looking at it that way, Vaatu can never be completely defeated. He's coming back. And based on the location shown, I have a feeling this might actually be Republic City. Let me know what you all think. So it seems Vaatu is possibly the one who destroyed this world, with our Avatar trying to stop him. But ultimately, the blame, our bad reputation, fell on the Avatar instead. I think Korra probably dies first at some point in this story, and they're going to properly present her death in this series. We'll have to watch and see how the new Avatar carries forward from all of this. I'm genuinely so excited to watch this series. I absolutely love the Avatar universe. The overall vibe and tone of this series feels great so far. But again, the animation style just doesn't quite sit right with me. I think it could have been made better. Please, drop those choppy frames. Every single animated show these days seems to be following that exact same trend, and honestly, it's getting frustrating. But overall, I'm okay with the story direction. A lot of Indian characters appearing too, so let's see where this series goes. So what do you all think about this? How many of you are eagerly waiting for Avatar 3 right now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you all in another great video soon. Have a good one, guys!